Welcome back to St. Petersburg, Russia. The light shining on one of the many intricate bridges that cross the Neva River here. And they call this the City of Three Revolutions. Well, we're going to see four tonight because the men are on the ice warming up for their Grand Prix final. And nearly everyone tells us that he will attempt the quadruple jump. Terry Gannon, Dick Button, Leslie Visser, ringside here at the Sports and Concert Complex. And let's take a look right now at how the men qualified for this final round. Remember, you had to skate in two Grand Prix Series events. Alexei Yagudin and Evgeny Plushenko of Russia won both of theirs. Alexei Urmanov with 19 points and the U.S. champion Michael Weiss with 18 points coming in. And the men continuing to warm up here, and there's a look at the reigning world champion back in his own neighborhood, Alexei Yagudin.
But what you have to watch for with him, first of all, is his quadruple toe loop jump. I mean, that's the pièce de résistance of all jumps. If he pulls it off, he will certainly get some extra nods from the judges. In addition to that, he does every triple known to man. And on more than that, he has an artistic unity. He's not afraid of establishing an artistic concept and then following it through out the entire program. That's nice to see. He develops that very well. And then there's Evgeny Plushenko. He also has a quadruple toe loop, and if he does that, he too will be right up at the top. But then he has an enormous amount of youthful energy and spring, which he just knocked the socks off everybody at the European Championships in Prague a couple of weeks ago. He's one of the few men to do the Bielman spin, and he also can do every triple in the books. He's quite, you know, an athletic performer. Look at this triple let's jump right here.
Well, those two Russians, the favorites, but you can't forget about the '94 Olympic champion Alexei Urmanov either.
Well, he's the heartthrob of all the young ladies here in St. Petersburg. Everybody likes him. He's very popular, and he has a wonderful, elegant style.
And the newly crowned U.S. men's champion Michael Weiss, he told us at the national championships, at this level against this competition, he had to have the quad jump. Now, he softened that a little bit, but he did try it in the short program and nearly hit it. He just missed standing up on it. So here are the standings heading into this men's free skate. Alexei Yagudin in the lead over Evgeny Plushenko. And it's Alexei Urmanov in third, Alexander Abt, and Michael Weiss in fifth place. Remember, if you're in the top three heading into the free skate and you win it, you are the overall champion. This free skate worth 2/3 of the overall score. It lasts 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And here is Alexander Abt in fourth place after the short program and a second and a third place finish in his Grand Prix events this season. And he is from Moscow.
The music, songs from the victorious city and tablat and bestem. Every one of these skaters must complete cleanly a triple axel, which he has planned right here as his opening move. Beautiful revolution in the air, very tight, but no control over the landing. He can redeem himself with a quadruple jump, which he's planned for coming up very shortly. Right here. Now watch him turn, step, double-footed that landing.
Abt spent 2 years in the Russian Army. Remember a couple of years ago, he burst onto the scene at Skate America. But then he had injuries in '95. In '96, a skate blade sliced his quadricep muscle, couldn't walk for 6 months.
Ah, there's another triple axel. He's having problems with that tonight. He can do those very easily as
The Russians heavily favored here in the men's competition. But a lot of people around here were talking about a Russian sweep in all 4 disciplines. We now know that that won't happen. Tatiana Malinina of Uzbekistan capturing the ladies' title.
Triple Lutz jump. Look at this, very sloppily skating down the ice here as he goes into this triple flip. I mean, that was really, not only was it a lousy jump, it was a lousy entrance to it. I'm surprised that he could be that sloppy when he's spending the rest of the time trying to work out this kind of choreographic movement. That was a triple loop jump. Salchow, triple Salchow. I don't know, for a country that has been so steeped in great dance tradition, I'm rather appalled at the sort of stop and start complications here in this choreography. That sit spin didn't get anywhere near down far enough into a sitting position. Well, I don't know what to say.
I can tell. Well, he finished 4th at the Russian National Championships, trying to get back to that form after the injuries the past couple of seasons that he had in '94. But tonight, not his night. Aleksandr Abt.
Just uninspiring.
Nighttime in St. Petersburg, Russia. The Hermitage all lit up, once home to the mighty Tsars and the scene of the Russian Revolution as well. Well, be with us tomorrow live at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific on ABC Sports. NASCAR heads out to the desert, the Las Vegas 400. Can anyone stop Jeff Gordon? That's the question. Mark Martin will try to do just that. He comes off a win at Rockingham. He won this race a year ago. The Las Vegas 400 tomorrow, right here on ABC Sports. The men's free skate underway here in the Grand Prix final. Aleksandr Abt, well, inept in this free skate. Not a good effort for him.
Well, look at this quadruple that he does here. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost out, double foots it. That was a creditable attempt. But in this triple axel, he had less success. Look at how the edge curved going into it. Landing, he was unable to support it in any way, didn't unhook, didn't have the strength to push up on the landing leg, and splatted.
And he's not even going to wait around for the rest of his marks. Technical merit marks, 5.2s, 5.3s.
Well, that was not a performance to be proud of.
No. For presentation, 5.3 to 5.5. So here is Andrejs Vlascenko of Germany, 4-time German national champion, a 3rd and a 4th place finish in the Grand Prix series this year, in 6th place after the short program, and he is a late entry. Elvis Stoico pulling out to nurse an injury before the World Championships.
He's very much more of an elegant skater than Abt was, or is. Now his triple axel right here. Now, if you noticed, he did not check that landing. In other words, he didn't hold his right shoulder, his landing shoulder, back as he landed, and as a result, he rotated out of the jump. Here, triple salchow. second triple axel right here. Again, look at how far rotated he is around going into it. And of course, that ended up being just a single jump. Now, this Lutz jump must be completed from steps, and that's why this combination of steps leads right into this triple Lutz. And that was a single Lutz. He just popped that one open.
Well, so far things opening up for Michael Weiss to at least move up in the standings. Aleksandr Abt struggling, so is Vlascenko. You may remember Vlascenko was born in Germany and represents Germany now, but his father was stationed there in the Soviet Army. He grew up in Latvia, former Soviet Republic, and won 2 Latvian national championships.
Back spin, or sort of a sideways leaning spin. He's a very pleasant skater to watch. He doesn't strain or this Lutz, which was only a double one, and he fell out of that to boot. Jumps almost off angle, out of balance. Serpentine footwork, one of the required elements, which he can choose the shape as to whether or not it's circular, straight line, or serpentine. That was a serpentine movement across the ice. Final combination spin. And he missed the music at the end. It was a rather sloppy spin. I think he was trying to catch up to his music and wasn't able to complete any of the individual positions in it.
So the first 2 skaters have had their problems. 24-year-old Andrejs Vlascenko of Germany. We're coming back with the newly crowned U.S. men's champion, Michael Weiss, who's looking forward to taking on the Russians here on their home ice.
I think it's pretty good. You know, I've beaten them before in the past. You know, I think it's just fun. You know, it's really fun to go out there and see, you know, 5 and 6 guys that are all so competitive and so close that on any given night anybody can do anything. And you know, I feel like I've done a lot of great things this year. I've skated really solid, and I feel like I'm on the right path.
Russia and the Hermitage, part of the remarkable history here in one of the world's great art collections. And a reminder, our coverage continues from St. Petersburg tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 3 Pacific here on ABC Sports. The pairs and ice dancing finals. The ISU Grand Prix final, Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman, the Americans in the pairs competition, and the world champions over in ice dance, Angelika Krylova and Oleg Ovsyannikov, back home here in Russia. That's tomorrow right here on ABC Sports. Right now, the men's free skate continues, and the lone American in this event, Michael Weiss, the newly crowned U.S. men's champion, takes the ice in 5th place after the short program. But with some opportunity to move up. The two skaters ahead of him have struggled.
He'll be skating to music from the motion picture Mulan. And it'll be interesting to see if he attempts a quadruple toe loop.
He attempted one in the short program, almost hit it, but did not stand up on it. And he told us that he has nothing to lose here. He's moving from that U.S. level to take on the world now. The mantle in the U.S. championships having been passed from Todd Eldridge to Michael Weiss.
Well, it'll be a personal satisfaction for him if he can complete his quadruple toe loop. I don't think he's done it in actual competition. Here it is. I think that was two-footed. I'd have to see it in slow motion to tell, but it certainly was a good attempt.
As close, if it was two-footed, as he has ever come in competition. You remember a few years ago at the Nationals, he two-footed a quad too, but that looked even cleaner. We'll have to wait and see.
Triple axel, triple toe, but he fell out of the ending one.
By the way, the scores for Andrejs Vlascenko range from 5.1 to 5.6 overall, and he is in second place in terms of those that have skated.
We're really struggling on these jumps, and that's one of the sad parts about Michael Weiss, that he hasn't been able to overcome that. Instead of flowing in and flowing out of these jumps, he kind of forces them, and the edges twist and go from inside to outside edge. He's got to improve that. You could see the takeoff edge there. It skidded off the ice. It didn't go straight up into the air, and that's why he had problems with the landing. Almost every jump that has a problem in the landing, the problem is in the takeoff. You have a good takeoff, you will 9 times out of 10 have a good landing. Loop jump. Was okay. Didn't sing, but it was okay. This is his serpentine footwork sequence. Notice how it's a huge serpentine crisscrossing the ice. Oh, that was nice. Good triple Lutz. Very neat combination spin at the end of his program.
Well, Michael Weiss got to be relieved and happy. all the way over here, stepping up to the next level to take on the best Russians, the best in the world, and satisfied with that performance. When we continue from St. Petersburg, the young Russian national champion, Evgeny Plushenko, in second place after the short program here at the Grand Prix final. He'll skate right after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Weiss and his longtime coach, Andrejs Vlascenko, awaiting the scores.
Now, look at this quadruple toe loop. The toe pick, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just a little bit crisscrossed feet at the end. I think you can see that better here in this section of slow motion right there. Yep, the toe pick goes down. It keeps it from being clean, but it was an awfully good try and a very complete jump, except for that.
He's been so close, but he has yet to land that successfully in competition. Now he's trying to move up in the standings here. The first set of marks, 5.5 to 5.7. Remember, he was in 5th place after the short program.
5.6.
And now the marks, Dick, for presentation, also 5.5 to 5.7.
And not much variation there. Very steady marks. I think similar thinking on the part of the judges.
But he has jumped ahead now of Aleksandr Abt, so Michael Weiss, in terms at least of those that have skated in the free skate, in first place. But here is one of the crowd favorites in his hometown, the young gun, 16 years of age, Evgeny Plushenko. He won both of his Grand Prix events this season. He is in second place, right behind Yagudin.
And he really took off, had enormous excitement at the European Championships in Prague just a couple of weeks back. I mean, he really lit up the building. Let's see if that same thing happens tonight.
The current Russian national champion.
Now, if he's going to do his quadruple, it will be right here. Now, you see, it was a clean landing, but he couldn't control it. So he did double 3 turns coming out of it, and that, of course, marks it off. But it was, again, an awfully good move. Remember, you're going around 4 times in the air, and that ain't easy.
You begin to take it for granted because you see it often from these guys, but that is amazing.
And there was... what? Double axel, a little bit of a sloppiness on the landing.
Evgeny, originally from the city of Volgograd. When he was 11 years of age, he and his mother forced to move to St. Petersburg because the lone rink there was closed. Came here under the tutelage of Alexei Mishin.
Look at this triple axel. Again, you see 2 hands down. It's like when that excitement, that 16-year-old energy and excitement escapes, you've got to have awfully good technique to follow it up with. And that technique is not holding him in good stead tonight. Right there, he didn't reach back far enough. And again, on the second jump, he couldn't control the landing. This is going to be an eye-opener to him.
This is very much like the European Championships when he came out of the box with so much enthusiasm and emotion, but that, as you say, only carries you so far.
Yeah, but except he has none of that excitement tonight. These are circular steps. He has a certain amount of flair, I will say. You can see it right here. Oh, did you see how off-angled that was? Triple Salchow, triple toe loop. Those are neat and secure. Straight line footwork. Very good, but very sloppy moves in the middle of it. Final combination spin. So-called Bielman spin. But the rest of that spin was really mediocre. You know, this is a very talented young man, and it just seems that he's all over the lot tonight. Something, I mean, he's got a good energy, he's got good jumping ability, and he can be awfully sloppy. I don't know where he's going, and I don't think the music helped him very much. And yet I like his skating. So what can I tell you?
And when you're in your hometown, they'll applaud you no matter what you do on the ice.
Now look at this quadruple toe loop that he does here. This is the first one he did right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now watch the two-footed. Oh, no, it wasn't a two-footed landing, but he couldn't control the landing. Clean all the way out. He did not check it. Now, then he changed and did it again in the second move. Right here, you see it again. Good, tight, crossed feet. But this one was a double-footed landing. And again, he couldn't control check the landing. So he had a very sloppy second jump on it. It's like he's all over the lot.
But he is compelling. He makes you watch him on the ice no matter what he's doing. Now the first set of marks for Evgeny, 5.6 up to 5.8. His coach in the middle there, Alexei, who also coaches Urmanov. Presentation marks 5.5 up to 5.8 for the 16-year-old. When we continue from St. Petersburg, Alexei Yagudin will look for another victory. He's won 2 European titles and a world championship, and he leads after the short program. A win in his hometown would mean everything. Men's competition continues here in St. Petersburg, and Alexei Yagudin, moments away from taking the ice here in his hometown. He may only be 18 years of age, but he has had a long and at times very tough road to the top. Leslie Visser has more on his story.
Growing up in St. Petersburg, Alexei Yagudin suffered hardships at an early age. As a boy, he and his mother were abandoned by Alexei's father. He was often so sick that doctors told Alexei's mother to find some sport, any sport, for her 4-year-old son to play.
My mother and her brother were out for a walk, and they read an ad on a street lamp inviting children of my age to enroll in a figure skating class. My mother didn't take long to make the decision.
I'd never been a figure skating fan. I never meant for him to become a professional skater. Nothing of the kind. Of course, we were late for the tryout. The door was locked. By a sheer miracle, the coach came out and said, "One more boy, come on in."
Well, oh boy, in walked the future world champion with a talent even his mother recognized.
When I got a little older, like 8 or 9, my mother was still working with me. We would go to an outdoor ice rink and skate a lot in addition to my training. I think she made a big investment in me, and I feel that I'm still using that reserve which I created with her help.
The bond between mother and son was solidified not only on the ice, but from living in a 2-bedroom communal apartment where Alexei and his mother shared a room, as well as sharing a kitchen and a bathroom with another family. Alexei dreams of securing an apartment for his family rather than of winning a world championship.
He realized that by myself I could never get an apartment, and buying one was out of the question. He always dreamed of having his own place, at least his own room. He didn't really want a house or an apartment that much, but just his own little corner where he could have his things and where he could feel like the boss.
Last year, at the age of 18, Alexei became the first men's world champion from post-Soviet Russia. That victory, along with wins at the 1998 European Championships and other competitions, meant that Alexei was able to save enough money to give back to the one person who'd given him so much. He was able to move his mother into their own two-bedroom apartment.
Everything I did in my life, I did it because I had to. It's so tiring to skate every day. I wake up every morning and think, my God, again I have so much I have to get done today. But that's my life, and I have to make myself get up. I have to constantly overcome myself. Now, of course, I'm not skating just to make money. I want to become a two-time world champion. I want to win the Olympics in 3 years.
Yagudin, the reigning world champion, is likely to be a favorite in Salt Lake in 2002. Meanwhile, his mother Zoya is not here. She says she's too nervous to watch him perform. In fact, she'll have to read about it because she says she's too nervous even to watch him on TV. Terry?
Well, this is a glamorous sport, and you sometimes forget about all the sacrifices that the skaters make and their families make. Anyone who is skating in Russia right now and has lived here, grown up here, and competing, a lot of sacrifices. Here is the world champion, Alexei Yagudin, and the leader after the short program.
The music, Lawrence of Arabia. Now look at how clean and secure and straight up that was. That's the way it should be done. Now if he does his quadruple toe loop, it will be right here. Again, a full, complete revolution, but he too couldn't check the landing and did double threes coming out of it. But that was the best example so far. Another triple axel. Oh, and that was just opened up and left into a single axel.
Alexei, the European champion once again in Prague. He won it a year ago, too. And Dick, again, we come into an event like this on the world stage, and everyone talks about how important the quadruple jump is, and you have to have it to win, and yet we have still not seen a clean one.
Triple flip, triple toe loop. What's so good about him is that he has wonderful security, wonderful strength. There's very little superfluous flair. It all applies in very good technique. Triple Lutz. Well, that was a very solid performance for Alexei Yagudin. You know, he had a few minor things where he opened up or didn't quite complete the two jump combinations. But, you know, it was a very good performance all around. Steady, secure, very controlled. He was mature about that program. This was not a 16-year-old slapping it all together.
Doesn't get much better than coming home in front of all the fans here, your family, your friends, and winning. We'll have to wait and see if that'll happen for Alexei Yagudin. Petersburg, Alexei Yagudin was in first place after the short program. The smile on his face tells you what he thinks about his free skate.
But look here at this triple axel. Look at the height, the way he went into that edge, the good straight body lean, the clean edge coming out there. He stretches back and does a triple toe loop. And that's just fine. Those were wonderful. Now look here again at this quadruple toe. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now watch the landing. He forces it through. He hangs on, but he has to do a double 3 rather than check it out.
Along with Tatiana Tarasova as coach, they train in Freehold, New Jersey.
Remember,
first set of marks, Dick, 5.8s and a 5.9.
Remember, Tatiana Tarasova also coached Ilya Kulik to his gold medal win. These marks are very fine, very strong. I mean, any time you get that kind of steady second mark, you're in good shape.
And obviously, he is the leader. So it's Alexei Yagudin, Evgeny Plushenko, and Michael Weiss, the U.S. champion. That's your top 3. As Alexei Urmanov, the 94 Olympic champion, skates onto the ice in third place after the short program. So he controls his destiny. Should he win the free skate, he would be the overall winner.
And don't you like all the flags waving? I mean, everybody here has got a red, white, and blue Russian flag, and they're just cheering these guys on. It's really nice to see. He, by the way, is one of the heartthrobs of the young lady contingent here, and they all like him.
So I hear.
Very nice young man. Looks like a young Tyrone Power, which I've said before and say again.
Before my time. But I'll trust you.
Movie star.
He is also the man Yagudin grew up idolizing and copying.
He also has very many stylized moves all the way through his skating. Arm movements. Look at this triple flip. That was certainly an easy, clean, beautiful move. This is his triple axel. Now watch the body lean in the air. Straight up. Look at how he leans out. But this time he didn't save it. Normally he does check it like almost like a cat landing and controls it. This one he had to step out of it. Another triple axel. That one was a clean landing. But it... back outside edge, leading into this triple Lutz.
You know, Urmanov, Yagudin, and Plushenko at one time were all coached by Alexei Mishin. Yagudin has since left, of course, and gone to Tatiana Tarasova. But that's some trio of Russian skaters.
That should have been a triple loop jump. It was a double. Since he had a very serious groin injury a year or so ago, he's had trouble coming back with the same flair and excitement that he had before. So that was a nice triple loop jump. He was not about to show that he couldn't do that jump. This is serpentine footwork combination. Final move, a butterfly into a back sit spin. A nice performance, but it kind of lacked excitement towards the end. He didn't seem to be as energetic and as with it as he usually is. The moves were nice. The jumps were good. There were some, missed moments here and there, but generally I just didn't think he sang in it.
Alexei Yagudin at the top. Maybe tough to catch him, but we'll see. Alexei Urmanov, homecoming weekend for him, too.
The ISU Grand Prix Final on ABC Sports. Brought to you by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. And Campbell's, good for the body, good for the soul.
Back in St. Petersburg, Alexei Urmanov milked it for everything it was worth. It took him a long time to leave the ice here in his hometown. And the first set of marks as he tries to catch Alexei Yagudin, 5.4 to 5.6, nowhere near Yagudin's.
No, well, his marks, his technical merit did not command that high a mark at all.
5.7 and then a 5.9 as well. So Alexei Urmanov right behind his countryman.
I think he should be very pleased with that second place win.
So the 18-year-old Alexei Yagudin gets the win over the guy he used to idolize, Alexei Urmanov. Plushenko rounds out the top three for the Russians. Michael Weiss moves up from 5th to finish 4th. Leslie Visser standing by right now, the winner and one of the favorite sons here. Leslie?
Terry, he is the man from St. Petersburg. He's won everything he's entered this year, and so it continues. Congratulations to you. What did it mean to win in your hometown?
It was more hard to skate here. I mean, it was harder to skate than in Europeans because this is my home city and all my friends watched me here. So first of all, I have to skate good for them, and I did great.
It was very impressive, and he says he doesn't know yet what he's going to do with the $50,000 more than $1 million rubles. Terry?
Leslie, that'll buy